Hey guys, it's Emma Romano here. So a lot of you know that I am a relationship expert and see a lot of clients worldwide. It's called relationship sovereignty and I teach it as well. And it's pretty amazing that probably in the last 2 to 3 months, a lot of people I know have split up. And it's a good thing. It's not always a great thing to stay with someone who's not good for you. So there's a pattern I can always see where the narcissist will say to the person that they're broken up with, why don't you just get over it? Why do they say that? Because the narcissist actually holds huge amounts of very low self-worth, shame, and trauma. They're not to be shut on, they are to be healed. They actually need more love than most. And what they'll do is they'll tell the other partner, the ex-partner, hurry up, just get over it, get on with it. It's so that their own shame doesn't come to the surface, because the other partner is a constant reminder of how low their act was. So when you're working with a narcissist, you've got to imagine that you are actually working with a 4-year-old who's throwing a constant tantrum. You will not get them to see your point of view. Stop trying. Stop trying. You've got to play the game. You feed into their ego, you will get what you want. If you give them the pity party, get them to say that they're wrong, they won't do it. So you've got to remember, the narcissist is always the hero or always the perpetual victim. They are never, ever the villain. They're never wrong. And if the more you keep trying to tell them that they were in the wrong, you're going to fuck it up for yourself. Okay? But can narcissists be healed? Certain ones can. The ones who, most narcissistic behaviors, narcissism is more common in behaviors than actual true narcissism. It's only about 1 in sort of 10,000 people with a true narcissist. 100,000 people is a true narcissist. They were born that way. Others were, it's sort of 2 reasons. 1, extremely controlling parents that weren't allowing that child to flourish emotionally. And it's mostly in men, and I tell you why, because boys from the ages 0 to 8 are far more sensitive than girls are. I just dropped that. So boys, when they don't, how boys were little, there's certain parents will say, oh, boys don't cry, suck it the fuck up, you'll be fine, shut up. They have to learn that they can't regulate their own self-worth. So they're constantly looking for it outside of themselves. And that's why narcissistic behaviors, relationships don't often work, because the narcissist is looking for that constant validation, and the person we're with gets sick of it and stops feeding it. Interesting, right? Can it be healed? 100%. Everyone can heal trauma. It's just a trauma response. That's all narcissism is, behavioral narcissism. If you're born a narcissist, you're kind of fucked. It's like a chemical thing in the brain, but there's not many people around that are born with it. They develop narcissistic behaviors that are learned, and they're a coping strategy to survive their environment. So interesting, isn't it? Did you know that? Have I taught you something today? Just put a little thumbs up there, a little love heart that I've taught you something today. But if you want to know more about it, I teach this. Plus, I also help people who are narcissists, and I also help people who are narcissistic relationships. I've got a beautiful woman coming here now, very shortly, who partner just broke up, and she is beside herself because he's like, just get the fuck over it. And it was a very long relationship. And also I want to explain something. If you're with a narcissist, you completely lose yourself of who you are because you're so busy feeding his or her ego. So you lose yourself. You don't know who the fuck you are, and you become very codependent in that relationship. You actually feel sometimes that you can't live or breathe without that person. It's huge, right? So I want you to know you can 100% heal this. 100%. 100%. I am living proof of it. All my clients are living proof of it. And I've trained practitioners in relationship sovereignty who've got clients all over the world who are living proof of it. So, you know, it's a tough gig. It's a tough fucking gig, let me tell you. You know, you'll go through some good stuff, you'll go through some shit stuff, but when you got the right therapist, they're not there to go, oh, sweetie. You know, they're to go, well, let's look at the fucking trauma of why you actually invited a narcissist into your world. And why do most people, you'll get some people who just go from narcissist to narcissist to narcissist to narcissist. It's because they have very low boundaries. So I did that, right? I went from narcissist to narcissist to narcissist. And why did I do it? One, I was a people pleaser and I had to fix people. I wanted to fix people because I couldn't look at myself or my own traumas. So I would look for the most fucked up, damaged person. I'm serious. Right? So that also can be healed. Everything can be fucking healed. I promise you. Anything to do with the past trauma can be healed. And trauma literally means powerlessness. Right? So my grandmother was a classic narcissist. Fucking loved her. When she was good, she was great. Joe, yeah, right, babe? My grandmother's amazing when she was on, but when she wasn't, she was a fucking mole. She was nasty to the core. So I learned how to play the game with narcissists. And I lost myself very early on because narcissists are controlling. And you have to constantly feed their ego. What is their ego? Their pain body. You know, so if you've got a child who is constantly, hi darling, thank you my love. If you've got a child who's constantly looking for praise, this is the languaging you need to start using. Don't give them the praise. Start asking them, how does that make you feel? So they can start going, oh, that makes me feel good. Who did that? Oh, I did that. Yes. So it's not about success, and especially if you've got a child who is a perfectionist, it's a first class freaking telltale. It's narcissistic behaviors in there. They're not narcissistic, it's just behaviors, and it's a learnt behavior. Could be from their mother or father. So that's when you want to say, especially when they fail at something, hey, that's okay, but how did you feel having a go? Oh, I actually felt good having a go. There you go. So you ask them great quality questions instead of telling them how they're supposed to feel, because that's controlling behavior. Big shit, right? It's fucking big stuff. Anyway, for more top tips from Emma Romano, please private message me or ask me questions in here and I shall do more lives for you. Mwah. Love ya.